box. If you dig it, you don't need to do anything else. But if you don't like it, check out the other box offerings for the month and see if maybe there's something that you would like, or you can just say no thanks, and they won't charge you the monthly fee. It's really cool that you can just skip it or select different boxes. They just don't send you a box. Some of these kind of services like this, every month you just get a box and you don't have a choice behind it. So I like the custom.
What's up, everybody? Good morning. Again, to a little late start today. Sorry about that. The S&P trading up to upper DD bands already. Open the morning, looking pretty solid. Let's get all of our tools here ready to go. How y'all doing, party people? Y'all ready to kick it? Let's go to the promised land. We're looking pretty, no, the market is not irrational. Oh, let me start over. Market is not irrational yet. The DD bands are based. No, not yet. So the S&P is rolled into a new contract, and so this is reflecting the current contract. So we're in the September one right now. Maybe we'll check that. 4089. Oh wait, I'm still showing the September. So let me switch over. Yeah, we're just on the edge here. So there's September. Let's roll into. Not yet. All right. Go to December. There we go. So the DD bands in the bot. See, here's the thing. Let me make sure there's a little error there. That's not correct. All right. Good morning. Yeah. So this is actually drawn in the wrong place. Let me double check on the risk interval to make sure it's. See. Okay. This is just. We'll fix this today. This is not irrational. So let's go ahead and. This is based on the wrong contract there. All right. Let's just go back to you, and. All right. So we're about to hit the upper DD band right here. Okay, so nice. BLU, all signs pointing up. Let's do a quickly little analysis for the morning. All right, so bull long up is great. First of all, you have that hedge pressure support. If you support the open, which is this black dot, you go to next resistance. So here to next resistance, which would be equivalent to DD band. Nice little trade up there, looking solid. What's up? What's up? Good morning, everybody. Nice and easy, clean, long out the door. Nothing looks great. Nasdaq is looking to break DD to the upper side. I need to write in rollovers into here, so we'll have to come up with a some logic to do that. This is just showing like this will default rolling over on expiration, so we need to do it strategically. What's up, guys? Good morning. Hit that like button, everybody. Let's go. Smash that. You know how this drill is. Market looking nice and stable. UVXY in decay. Bull, no bull side supports anywhere. It's looking good. You have a profile mode out now. That looks great. Okay, cool. So this will bring up your user profile. I'm looking at new features that we've made right here. So now I have a user profile. Okay, watch list has changed a little bit. Type in a symbol. Let's just check this out. See if this works. Maybe it doesn't need the slash. F dot. Oh wait, hold on. F dot US P U 23. Okay, let's try it this way. Oh, good. Watch list bug has been fixed. Now we can actually type on it. And it's been reimagined, so you just type in your symbol there. That looks good. Beautiful. Can you plot it on the SPY chart as well? Yeah, you can. You can manually plot anything you want. Why it's not when we teach you guys is that DD band is a futures thing. It's not a SPY thing. So it's like you should watch them side by side. If you want to convert this and draw it over here, then you can. It changes in real time when you convert something because the ratio is not the same. SPY and ES aren't always trading at exactly the same rate. So your DD bands are going to move around if you draw them on SPY. There's really no reason to do that. You should be treating them like they're separately. We teach you guys that way. So you don't have to deal with the moving target. Futures, it's going to be a static target. Your DD band's almost been tapped there. DD is 96. So bull side support on QQQ. We have type 2 resilience with res being greater than 0. Let's use that for now. That trade and X resistance. So it's nice. 375 support today. These look really good. Like all the market today, betting on support. Even if it falls down in here, we're going to bet that we close on bull side. So it's a nice update today. You don't have futures on Rocket Scooter yet? Well, how are you going to get your DD bands? You have to have futures to get your DD bands. That's the only way you're going to get them. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. Don't listen to me. That's wrong. You don't have to have futures to get the numbers. The numbers are going to be written in your risk interval table. So you can get those numbers and then draw them yourself like wherever you want. But as far as converting DD band to SPY and drawing them on your chart, we ultimately decided against doing that. So you can, if you have Pro Plus, you'll have the DD numbers on the risk interval. But what it told me is that, oh, this actually is okay. It's not going to show, that's the thing. We need to create something where you select which ticker. Ah, okay. Look at me being smart over here. All right, guys, it's a nice update from Bull Zone. This is a long entry right here. I have to draw something in paint though, really quick. Watch this. I want to see how. Here's an idea. Everyone that trades futures knows where I'm going with this. You keep asking about that same ticker. We don't change our data providers. If they don't have options or they don't have the ticker, there's nothing we can do about it. But let me look. I'll look into it for you. We don't control what the data feed peeps provide us. Watch this. Y'all see what I'm going to try to do here. We need to tell you to select which contract month to display in your table here. Okay, guys, nice little bull update today off ahead. This is a decent long entry point right here. I like this one. Hold on, I got it, but I got to make this. Okay, select month. You need to tell it which month. We're not going to create some kind of automated rollover thing. You'll be able to like choose which month that you want. I think that's the best way to do it. Make these like little drop downs or whatever. Right. Each one. I should be able to change them, right? Hold on for a second. All right, that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, let's do incube. All right, let's pop up the DD bands. We're dealing with rollover today, so this is what we notice in our programming. We're not drawing. So watch this. Watch. F. .us. Y'all have to tell me if we touch upper band. F.us. Ah, yes, we did. You're correct. So I'm still going to use the U contract today, even though we have rolled. Yeah, that's correct. Oh, so forget what I said about long entry then. So the day would be over. Yeah, you're correct. So in trading, that would be the limit, like up in here anyway. So there really is the upper resistance would be to trade to those DD bands again, if there is a scalp. And normally I don't bet on it touching twice. That was my mistake about long entry this morning. That's why Leah's reminding me. Good calling up. So when you touch the band already, day's over. So the day is traded up there. Now you can scalp, but I don't scalp that we break and keep going. If I do scalp, it's back to the same spot. So here back to open is a decent scalp, but I would stop. I wouldn't bet any further than that. Yeah, good call. What do I want to do? I have to program a rollover schedule in here. Also, let me come up with a logical way to do this. I do kind of like what I'm seeing. A nice, easy, clean day today. Good morning, everyone. So I'm trying to write some rollover type. And the new release is just getting nicer and nicer like every single day. I'm loving it. Yep. So we know the MR tiebreaker typically goes to bull zone. I'll be right back. Grab me something to eat real quick. I'll be back. Ready, I'm back. Sorry, I had to grab myself some breakfast here. Is that hedge pressure bounced the bull zone again? Talking about that one. So I like what I see in QQQ. Market's still stable. Rational rules still apply. We did tap the DD band, so now it's just yellow. Yellow is caution, so half position trades. Let me ask about MP. Does InPower have options? I don't know anything about it. Let me look. It should. I don't know why we don't get data for it. Oh, okay. Let me start over. Who asks for InPower every day? MK. InPower doesn't have options. That's why we don't have data. Sometimes you'll just don't get lucky like that. Here, let me show you. You can't have liquidity map there. That's checked in Thinkorswim. Look, MK. I know you've been asking for like weeks, and I just said maybe our data providers don't have the data. It has no options. You guys got to check before you look. So if there's no options, there's no liquidity map. MK, you there? My bad. So we don't check if there's no options. We just don't draw anything. But we also don't draw anything if we don't have the data either, like if the data drops, and we should have data. But either way, but there's no data, we don't draw. So it doesn't have options. So unfortunately, what sucks is that we'll not be able to draw a liquidity map for it. Sorry, I never went to look for you. I know the last couple of days that you were asking, I was like maybe we just don't, maybe our data providers don't have it or something. It's the stock itself doesn't have options. So sorry that you won't get your liquidity maps for it. I'm glad I checked, because this whole time I was thinking like, man, our data providers, I need to have an angry phone call with them. They dropping my data. But apparently. So I was like, we thought we fixed all their problems for them. They got more problem now. We just got to fix meta now. That's the one that's still jacked up. All right. We're dealing with the rollover, some rollover script on here. So what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to have it to where you can select your contract. Because if we roll, you should be able to go in here and go to S&P. And then ultimately we'll create an auto mode where it can do it all by itself for you. I just need to write that. But you'll be able to, you'll click this. Oops. You'll be able to click a drop down and change which contract you want, which will change which DD bands are displayed. Right now, it's just displaying. I don't know how we're choosing which one we display. I think we just grab the top piece of data in the data set. So we're gonna make sure because we're parsing this all from a web scraper. Quickie little scalp on the cues. That's a decent one. We always want to tap that bull zone again. Yeah, so this is no trade day from here. It's kind of a sit out and relax on this one now. Like the movement looks good, obviously. Now SPY itself is on hedge pressure, so this could be a setup for SPY. Now this is just a QQQ scout. SPY being in hedge pressure with all things looking great. I'm not afraid of this at all. Resilience still positive, half gap support. This is possibly a long entry on SPY. So let's go ahead and go to my watch list. Let's pull up the S&P. Man, this is moving faster every day. And since we already kind of hit the upper DD band, it's hard to say that there's another trade potential from here. Usually I don't trade once you've already tapped it or pulled back, once you've already moved this much. So any scout from here, I personally trade somewhat smaller and be careful because Russell's breaking hedge pressure. So even if I did anything, I would long just to the upper end of the box like this. I would long from here to here and call it. So I don't trade a DD band or beyond, but you've already touched it. So the reward to risk, we'll talk about like a let's see, like a maybe like 1.25 almost to 1 point stop. So scalp potential is there. VIX and decay with no volatility present. I think it's still a decent setup. I like it. You have any tickers we want to look at while we're chilling here? Dude, this looks like lo-fi music. Is legit. I don't know what that kind of like, it has that, I describe the sound. You play any video games or something like Zelda or like open world RPGs, it has that kind of like generic metal clanking on metal sound, like a blacksmith in the shop like hammering out a sword for you or something. It's like very ASMR to me right now. It's real relaxing. It's like setting the mood. It's like chill me out. Let me rewind it to hear it again. Oops, hold on. It's like clink, 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 clink. It's like you get to the town for the first time. Oh, let me, that's right. Oh yeah, here it is. Okay. It's like clink, 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 clink. You hear it in the background. That's how you know you're in a small medieval town. You guys hammer out horseshoes or whatever. Like I could fall asleep to like little gentle sounds like that. All right, let's go. Nice job, Milo, killing it. Killing it, baby. Let's look at Goog. By the way, I'm playing when I get some time. I've got the new Zelda game. I don't know if anybody played Breath of the Wild, but Tears of the Kingdom. Like if you like Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom is like, it's like the same game twice, kind of. It's the same world. You revisit the world and you're like playing the game all over again, but it's like infinitely better and there's so much more to do. I never really get a lot of time to play games, so I commit them, but when I get some free time and I can't sleep, I just pop it in. All right, Goog right here. Goog sitting at open and close are always pivots, so you have to use your best diligence. Whenever you're trading a stock, you do top down. So, example, we're gonna look at SPY. I think it is Google in tech. Don't quote me on this. XLK. I can't remember which sector it's in. Look at whatever XLK or XLY, one of the two, whichever. Let's double check that really quick. See which one it is in. I always forget which. They always. No, it's not XLK. It's probably telecom because of No, it's not there either. Oh, comm services? No way. There it is, comms. Okay, so XLC. There it is. You think after like 14 years I'd have all these memorized. Okay, so SPY, XLC, then Goog. So, yeah, right? It gets confusing. Now that Google has Android and phones, it's more considered a communication service. And also all the other things they have, their other products. Browsers and things. Okay. So what you do is you do a top down. You're going to look at the health of the SPY, right? Anytime you're doing a stock. So SPY possibly belong up with the limit on hedge pressure. Now let's look at the XLC and see what that looks like, right? Mean reversion long up. So XLC, no direction, but just generically pushing higher. Okay. Google in a very similar boat. Nothing actionable. So with SPY, we're going to look at pivot points on SPY. If I expect SPY to pivot or XLC to pivot, then I'll expect Google to pivot. So we look at the available pivots here. Open, close. These are off. So these are, down below. So these don't even apply. So the question is, would I long off of Google to some resistance, which we'll have to figure out what that is later. And these things are both pointing up. Up-ish, but DD band limit is here. So I would say that Google, at best, I would stop down here. I would scout Google on the long side if I believe the SPY would bounce. And that's how you look at stocks. You do index, sector, and don't look at the NASDAQ as your overall guide for the whole market, even if it's strong in the NASDAQ. Or the S&P is like our major guide here. Yeah, so once you hit that DD band, it's pretty much over. So it's not really much of a breakout type trade day today. So Google, like I would long if I would close if it filled the gap to the downside and traded lower. I expect S&P to kiss the bullseye. So if Google does the same song and dance as it looks like it's tracking the S&P, there's at least a scalp like this available on Google. I'd stop right there. And then from here, it's just gambling. Like on day trades, I wouldn't day trade this to break out because everything's hitting those upper DD bands and pulling back, right? Everything kind of pivots together. So, you know, one could scalp there if they wanted to, but I pretty much treat it like the rest of the market. This, I would scalp to there and get out, right? You can mirror your trade plans similarly. So, Google's like maybe an internal retracement. That's all I can see on that one. So today might not be a big rally day today. AMD, this is a similar setup. I don't know where AMD is in here, but let me search for it. Probably tech. Is it part of it? Yeah. Let's do XLK. You want to get information like from every aspect you can on each stock. So AMD is a BLD. BLD has open yellow support. So here is great support. It's a BLD on the XLK with no actionable pivots. You have the close and the open right here. Let's double check. And nothing's in the way. Okay, so on XLK, Remember, we look at opens and closes to be pivots, so there's a possible pivot there. And if it's trading below, it's kind of nervous, right? There's not really much. Oops, there they are. So an example is this is failing the only possible pivot I can see. So as long as it's trading right here, AMD can get some steam to go back to the open price. This is one of those things, or actually we'll trade an X resistance. Open, yellow, open is typically what you can see. So AMD monthly hedge support is a great setup. And then of course there's that possible maneuver there. There's nothing for this to pivot off of, however. And then right here, of course, SPY has nothing to pivot off of except for hedge pressure. So this is likely to be... So in this scenario, I could say this is probably the only place SPY could hang. And if it were to move, I would long, and then I'd build a very heavy long. Right here. If I were to build this, and I would stop out completely here. If it fell to hedge pressure and I was still bullish the stock, I would take a second stab at it here. If I wanted to be long. If I wanted to be short and I was a bear on this thing, then I would take the short trade. I would just wait for a monthly hedge pressure to break, and then I'd short it if I was bearish. But I'm not bearish. So when you see setups like this can pivot here. This doesn't have any potential to pivot. I would start a starter position that I would build up until monthly hedge pressure, and I'd stop on the other side. That's how I do trades like this. Does that make sense? All in well knowing that the S&P is already flirted with DD bands. So in general, we opened, fell, and we're likely to open. In general, I wouldn't trade it to break beyond the highs either. So even though it's, you know, the liquidity map pushes to there, I typically would take first resistance in the case that I think the S&P is probably going to wiggle lower because we already hit DD band, and I'd probably close out there. So the reward to risk is really good on a setup like this. Do y'all follow how the top-down approach works for stocks? You have to keep the index. That's why I have 3 charts on my screen always. You have to keep the index in mind. On days where there's like individual catalysts for a company, it's not going to listen to index. But as you see, most days, they look exactly the same. So you're basically trading all 3 at once. Anytime you're doing a stock, you want to have visibility of all 3. Your index, its sector, and then the stock itself. Yes, we understand? So I know that the S&P has like wiggle room to do that because of the DD rule. So I know that this has wiggle room to do that because the S&P is likely to bounce. This is likely to bounce. So I can at least get a scout from here to here and make a decision. Right, this is trade 2. This is trade 1. Trade 2 would be the S&P hits a bear zone and then kisses the bull zone, as we know. Right. And this just has nothing actionable. Cool, right? All right. We're currently working on a project to optimize the platform, so you might see some changes every day, little things changing here and there. This is platform optimization features. It's going to be cleaner, smoother, faster. We changed the stacking order here. S&P, NASDAQ, Russell, S&P, NASDAQ, Russell. So these were displayed flipped opposite direction. You now have a profile mode all right here. I have more of your profile and billing information in the platform. Scanner, we've changed some of the features here. Just put everything on a single line to consolidate that and make it a little bit easier. And that big old list, and it stays on the screen here instead of drawn off the screen, which makes that really nice. Let's see what NVIDIA's doing today. NVIDIA kind of in that same boat as AMD. See how they both have similar maps? It's neat, right? Oh, that's a big drop, 30 points. I would just honestly let things fall today. They are. Instead of trying to scalp in front of some slight pullback, I would just kind of let things pull back in general from here. Now again, there are scalps along the way. I'm betting we don't break above highs. And we have to be very careful. Hedge breaks are starting to become prominent here. Yeah, no setup. Honestly, if I were in a long right now, I probably would just close out and kind of let it do its thing and let the market dip a little harder. And watch today. So originally I was like, I would probably take a long. I was mistaken because I didn't realize we had tapped the DD band. That was my mistake. So normally you hit the DD band, you're done for the day, and you just know you're kind of baby scalps for the rest of the day if you do anything at all. Man, I am loving the platform every single day. It's getting cooler and cooler with these features. Okay. You guys, y'all loving the new platform, the new layout, the new features? It's clean and it's getting faster. We're working on all like optimizations. So to use less data, to use less memory, to be more streamlined, to have a better communication with the server. And we're really prepping for like Rocket Scooter Phase 2, which is the big stuff that we've always wanted to make. All the AI features and things that we've been building, that we've been planning, that we're gonna be building. I'm stoked. Sometimes I find it hard to believe. Like, it's so funny because I just work so hard every day. Like, I'm working all day long. You guys know that. And when I like, you get, you know, you're so tunnel vision in your own project. Don't think about it. I wonder, because like I looked back and I'm like, I look at this and I go, oh my God, I built a trading platform. I wonder if Elon Musk just every once in a while just looks up and goes, holy shit, I built a rocket ship. That's pretty cool. Like, you don't think about it because you're always just working. It's like incremental changes. When I look down at this, and I tell my friends, they're like, what you know, like, or meet people, like, what do you do for a living? I just tell them a couple of things. I built a trading platform. They're like, wait, you built a trading platform? And I'm like, yeah. They go, no way, let me see. And I show it to them. They go, dude, that is so cool. You built a whole trading platform. And I'm like, oh yeah, I kind of did. You don't think about it, right? You don't stop and zoom out and like observe your whole project. And then you've seen the incremental changes little by little. You don't get that slap in the face, oh my God, that's so cool feeling. Because when we built this a piece at a time, it was never, oh my God, so cool. Every piece was just a little incremental thing. So it's kind of neat to look at it and go, wow, I can't believe we did this 3 years. Going on year 4 now. And every time I look at it, it just gets a little bit better. So when I tell people what I do, and they go, let me see it, and you show it to them, they go, oh, well, that's cooler than the platform I use. And I go, oh, well, that's right. That's what we're aiming for. Appreciate that. All right, any more tickers you guys want to do? Y'all are super quiet this morning. Double checking that my mic is here. Can y'all hear me? something like, you've been designing a spaceship for, years, decade, whatever. And then you look back and go, wow, I actually designed a spaceship. That's kind of cool. You're always working on a spaceship project. You never zoom out and tell yourself, oh, look what I did. And all of you do that with your own work. Think about it. Everybody has work you should be proud of. Whatever you do, be proud of it. That is the key to a happy life. Trust me. Work is hard. Nobody's like, there's nothing grass is greener. Trust me. You might say like, man, I wish I was like Matt. I wish I built a trading platform and this. And work is hard for everybody. Or you wish I would have done something different. Don't ever think that, right? I don't think that. Whatever you do, if you think it's menial, it's not. What you do is important. It's important to somebody. It should be important to you. You should always be proud of your own work. When you're proud of your work, then your life is just better. Like you live with a sense of pride for what you've done. And that's where you always have to feel. It's like a life skill. No matter what you do, there's nothing that's unimportant to this world because you get paid for it. It's important. It's a necessary thing that you do. And keep that in mind. Like always, if people think like, man, I'm in a dead-end job, or I wish I could do this or do that. Try to find something you're proud of. And even if not, if it's hard to do that, there's probably other people similar position to you in the company. At least just try to be better than them or produce better results than them. Be competitive, right? Self-drive and motivation creates pride in your own work, to be proud of yourself. And you're not even doing it like if you make a really kick-ass spreadsheet with color codes and all the code, like color coding cells, and you write extra script to optimize your work, and it just kicks ass. You never really can like show them. When I was an engineer, I used to write all these badass Excel sheets, and I would write VBA code in it to optimize my work. When the guy that had the job before me handed it off to me, we ran acrylic acid monomer reactor units at Dow Chemical. I ran 3 of the 5 that they had at the plant. We basically took propylene and made acrylic acid out. And acrylic acid goes into PMMA, which is plexiglass. Well, actually, our process didn't go into the PMA. Our process went into making polyacrylic, which is diaper absorbent for Huggies, for the diapers. So we made the powder that goes in diapers. I didn't make the powder. I made the liquid aqueous solution that went to the other side of the plant that turned into powder. And we sold our stuff to Huggies. Anyways, it's like basically powder that turns to gel when it gets wet. So anyways, I made the liquid part, the aqueous part. And the guy handed the project or handed the plant to me when I took over his job, gave me all his tools. And I saw them and I was like, man, this is just cluttered up junk. Because like, he built it over the years when, it was early 2000s. People were just now getting into automation of things with like being able to pull data in Excel. So I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make much better tools than he has because I have the time, and I'm going to recreate everything from scratch. And I built my own version of stuff. Not my job. When you build your own tools like that, it's not like I can have my boss sit down and he can go like, wow, you did a great job. Those are automated. Cool. Wow. That button you made from the macro is cool. Nobody sees that. You have to be driven by your self-motivated, and you have to have your soul sense of pride that you're doing better than the person who came before you or the people you're working with. When you have self-pride, you're always going to be motivated. Therefore, you're going to like your life no matter what you do. If you think you're like in a job that you don't like, try to make yourself like it by excelling at it. And then ultimately you look back and go, wow, I actually made this. Sometimes I'll go back and look at my old scripts that I wrote back in the day, just because I'll remember I did something clever. And I'm like, oh, let me go see what I did that one time so I can use this in another spreadsheet I'm making. And I'll go back and be like, wow, I can't believe I wrote a reaction yield model that responds to ambient temperature changes and weather conditions to forecast additional catalyst decay. And I'm like, wow, I can't believe I did that when I was 23 or 25. And I look at it and go, I guess, back then I was creating stuff that I just didn't really realize was a thing. And then I look back and my older self looks back on it. I'm proud of what my younger self did. My younger self was driven to be better than the person that came before me. So therefore I was motivated by my own self. So this is a lesson about happiness in life. You need to find ways to be proud of what you do because it brings you immense joy and happiness in life. It's not the money, it's not the success. It's the idea that you make something. And I know, like, I have a friend of mine who's Japanese, talks about like their Japanese culture and work ethic is all about honor and pride in one's own work. Like when you make something, you make it well, like because you don't feel adequate if you're not excelling at your craft. So I love that like passionate work ethic. And when I look back at quality of what I've made, I'm just trying to say I'm somewhat proud of myself when I think about it. This last weekend, I was talking to a friend who was like, let me see your trading platform. And they were blown away by how they're like, you built this, you built all of this. And I go, well, I mean, I've been a team of 25 people now, but yeah, we built all of this. It's like, dude, that's legit. Like he's like, I thought when you said that you were making, he's like, this is next level. This is like the big boys. And I'm like, oh, I guess so. And you don't think about it, right? So stop and take a look at what you do. And if you do it well, you probably don't notice that you're the best in class at your job because you don't stop and take a look at your results, right? I felt an intense sense of pride. My friend was telling me that. I was like, okay, I really haven't stopped to look at what we've done. I just changed it little by little over 4 years. So when I was working as an engineer, I loved making custom scripts and custom spreadsheets. I mean, it had infinite data that I could pull from to come up with infinite creativity to optimize what I did. It was really fun building things. Nobody would tell you, hey, can you build this real quick? This is what I want. It's just like, hey, your job is to make the plant money or keep the plant from losing money. This kind of sounds like trading, right? So have fun. Here's where you can grab all this data and feel free to figure out things that lose money and fix them. Think about ideas to save money and invent them. This is your job. Good luck, kid. And that was it. That's an engineer's job in a plant. Fix shit that's broken or optimize things that are working. And so I was just like, I was always like in my little workshop. I always call my office. I was always in there like tinkering, like building something. Oh, here, you know what? I have this idea. I have this theory. My boss's boss was telling me when he worked in the plant, they had this thing that would usually happen every once in a while. Let me see if I can model that. Oh yeah, this is a frequent thing. Oh, here's why it happened. Oh, okay, maybe we can design around this. Like there's always just, and it's kind of like, this is what I do now. It's like the same thing. You're engineering. I think it's like a little bit. So every time you guys give us feedback and you're proud of the platform too, give us feedback, right? Tell us things that you want us to fix or make. And appreciate your patience as we're building this in front of your very eyes. So there's that bounce in S&P, like we said earlier. There's that little SPY bounce. Man, right on the money, right? If I were scalping, I would not be greedy to take it all the way to the top. If I scalped on hedge pressure, I would start taking profit a little bit. Oh, just easy peasy. Love it. But if you have suggestions or ideas or wish lists, give it to us because we're going to be able to take whatever thoughts or designs you have, we can implement them as we're trying to create things that are. Right now, we're just building the basic features of the trading platform itself. As we start creating the AI type features and the role assist mode and all that, it'll be a whole different ball game. So feel free to drop your suggestions because as this is an open-ended book, we're redesigning in phase 2. Phase 1 is practically finishing up. This is phase 1 rocket scooter. Phase 2 is going to be all kind of AI-based features, like rule assist that like reminds you that you're breaking your rules and things like that. Machine learning to create new rules, back test that prints probabilities on the charts, things like that. All that's coming out in phase 2. And phase 2 is only Pro Plus. You got to be in Pro Plus, and Pro Plus prices are going to go way up at the end of the day down the road. So this is the only time in your life you'll be able to have all these features in Rocket Scooter, that low Pro Plus price. And remember that. So you guys got to lock in your membership, and those features are only going to come in Pro Plus. If you have Pro right now or the extended trial, nothing's going to change for your platform beyond your phase 1 ends with little minor tweaks. That's it. So this is phase 1 platform. the stuff we're building for phase 2 is going to be the AI portion of what Rockscatter AI is all about. All the neat things you've always wanted a trading platform to do in the modern day, right? Trading platforms are very bulky, archaic, old school, 20 years old. Discord wasn't invented at the time. Hell, trade rooms weren't even around at the time. It's all technical analysis. It wasn't interconnected with social medias. All the things you can do in the modern day that you're like, man, I wish the platform would be cool. Like, I wish I can click a button and it automatically tweets my chart. Like whatever cool ideas that you have, which is something else we're obviously going to do, like you always wish a platform had, right? That the old platforms just never really caught up with what your dreams were. Tell me and I'll make it. That's the thing. The modern day example, I can type a scanner strategy array and produce a list of stocks. Well, what if I were to go to the Discord and type a command HP break, and then the Discord bot spits in the chat the top 10 stocks that broke hedge pressure? How cool is that for like a leader to be able to talk to the room? Or you want to ask, your trading account is connected, Discord is connected. You go to the bot and you go bot position, like exclamation point POS, and the bot DMs you what your position is, how much you've won, how much you've lost in the trade, because all of it's connected. Because you can't open your trading platform because you're stuck in a meeting, right? You know what I'm saying? It's like all those little nuances we're trying to think of. Little ways to connect your life and connect your platform to make it easier to play with. So the open-ended thing with the Discord bot, I want you guys to do me a favor. Go to Wishlist and start feeding me some ideas. The Discord bot right now just manages your access roles and Discord access and what you with your membership. So we wrote a bot from scratch, by the way. So you know how there's a lot of Discord bots out there you can pay for and whatever. We created a brand new Discord bot from scratch. So if you have a trading community and you want a Discord bot, send me a message about the Discord bot. We'll tell you all about it. It's called AstraBot, as you guys know. So AstraBot's an actual sellable product we have as well. And what it does, it's gonna do all kind of cool features to integrate the trading platform to your Discord experience. And it's gonna all your connections that you have connected will have the ability to interact with it using like Discord and bot. It can send you text messages, your gurus can send you alerts, whatever the case may be. So as we're building out future features in phase 2, its interconnectivity is the next thing. We'll be having more broker connections coming through as years go by. So phase 2 will have additional broker connections. We're gonna try to get some stocks, some options, a little bit of everything. So that to me is super duper exciting. All right. You see how that S&P, God, the minute I say S&P take profit, look what happened. Trading day is officially over when these things happen. A little bit of a retrace, right? You don't get greedy. I'd say I probably start taking some profit now. And short's likely to hold, but the bulk of the day is probably over. Remember I said we're not going to break highs. That things are probably going to seesaw back up, but not go higher. See how pretty easy that is? I've seen this day a million times, so it's not hard to see that. We've rolled over, and I think we're getting just a little bit of selling pressure off of that pre-market tap of DD band. Typically in this environment, we've been selling off of this pre-market DD band taps, and we don't bet that you break them. Now, NASDAQ is the one that hit, by the way. We don't bet that we break them and keep going. So there's typically always a strong bullish hedge pressure bounce, especially when DD is as positive as it is. Support the bull zone when DD is as positive as it is, and of course hedge pressure bounce. So that's a nice clean breakaway for a scalp if anybody did trade on that. Kudos to you, you do pay attention to your rules, which is good. So pretty simple. But I'm really excited about the custom Discord bot. It'll be able to like pay attention. And for instance, if say that I long the S&P and I'm long the S&P and S&P breaks hedge pressure and the bot knows I'm in a long S&P trade with the hedge pressure break, and the bot can send me a DM, hey, You're in a long trade and hedge pressure broke. Did you know that? It's an AI assisted bot that'll be able to do things like that. Do you guys like that idea? Give me some feedback on that. If you take your eyes off the chart, we want to make it to where you don't get fucked over by forgetting to do something, right? So rule assist mode will not only send you pop-ups if you're breaking your own rule, but the bot can send you a DM in case you're taking a shit and not paying attention. So these features are like things that we always wanted as traders, right? That we can say, oh man, like how many times have people like even made a losing trade or blown up an account off a simple mistake? Like you're trading and you forget it's CPI or you forget Fed or whatever, and you take your kids to the zoo, and all of a sudden you're walking around having a great time, and you look at your phone and you're like, oh my God, my account's blowing up. And you run and go sit on a bench while your family's having fun, wondering what you're doing because you forgot something. There's no way you're going to forget anything anymore. Maybe you're in a position and the bot can say, by the way, I see that you're in a position. Today, the FOMC is making an announcement. Do you know that? Just making sure you knew that. Okay. Thank you. Just be aware. It's at 2 p.m. Well, you know. So stuff like that, right? Risk management on a completely different level. Like, it's AI assisted risk management. You tell it your rules, it makes sure you follow them. You tell it your rules, it reminds you if they're broken. If you're in a position against your rules, it starts sending you like emojis with frowny faces. Hey, you're breaking your own rules right now, by the way. And every time you've broken this rule, and it say, you know, your average win rate 65%. Every time you've broken this rule, under these same conditions, you know, you lose 7 out of 10 of these trades, by the way. So this is going to lower your win rate by this amount. Likelihood, blah, blah, blah. And like statistical analysis of you breaking your rules. Like you break through hedge pressure and you're still long, and say, by the way, you lose 8 out of 10 of those trades where you were long by your own performance, not even by probability of the trade making. It's like your behavior is when you're longing on a hedge pressure break and you're holding the bag, you lose 8 out of 10 of those trades. Just letting you know. And you can say, oh shit, the bot's right. What you used to do is have to like journal all your trades and write down everything you've done. And remember every trade. Like, what did I do last time I was long when hedge pressure broke? Oh shit. What day was that? Go back. The bot will tell you the last 50 times you did it in a heartbeat and tell you the probabilities. Things like that. You can say, oh yeah, that bot is right. I do remember now. Every time I long on hedge pressure, I fucking throw up in my lap and I can't trade, and sucks. It just doesn't work. And I get really nervous and I hate this. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna close out. I'm done. So, Paul Jones, let's do some different ideas. How about proactive and in a trade and approaching a resistance? Oh yeah, like programmable things. Like if I'm within 1% of hedge pressure on bull long ups, send me an alert. The bot can DM you. Hey, by the way, NVIDIA, within 1% of hedge pressure on a bull long up, this was your signal. You can program signals and the bot can message you. Good deal, love it. Should the app be on phone for alerts that you can expand for full charting and stuff? So let's read what you said. The app itself is a web app, and it's going to remain a web app for a while. As we're building out these features in the web app, at some point, if we do branch off to build mobile apps, obviously it's going to require we've self-funded, by the way. It's letting you guys know rocket skier. You know, like a lot of corporations out there issue IPOs, a lot of corporations out there get venture capital funding and things like that. You know, we've expanded from 0 to 25 people on our team, majority of which are paid. We built a training platform. You know, we've received no outside funding from private equity or venture capital. We've self-funded this with our own trading games. We spent millions of dollars building this app. I've spent over $1 million, my own personal money, building this app. Just FYI. Now, building mobile apps is a massive project as well, which requires massive overhead just to build in those separate environments for the app stores. So if we go out there and seek like Series B funding, which is basically the stage right now, to build an app, we'd have to hire an entirely new team just to build an app. And we thought about doing it because that's millions more dollars of investment money. The question is, would I want to? The Discord bot is already going to be working with Discord, which is already an app. So that functionality will be sending DMs to your phone, or all that stuff will work. Do I want the platform to be its own mobile app? I'm going to design a mobile app version of the charts. It won't have the full functionality as the app here, but which part should we turn into a mobile app? Because remember, every time we add something and develop something, right, on the main platform, we'd have to develop it simultaneously in a mobile version as well. So if we made a mobile app, I was thinking of this, right? Because I was kind of brainstorming this last week with one of my teammates. If we made a mobile app where you can download from the App Store, it would primarily just be focused on trading in your charts. Very similar to what like the Pulse app for trading, Tradeovate does. It's a very light app. It's not that complicated. If you ever used a Tradeovate Pulse app, you may laugh when I say it's the best trading app of all trading apps ever made for phones. And you look at it and go, well, there's not a lot here. It's just like pretty basic. The charts are basic. And I go, no, it does what you need it to do. That's it. And it's perfect and flawless. You can, like, it's not bloated with junk I don't need. It's got my chart. It shows the volume at each price. It shows the DOM, and I can make orders all in one place, in one button. It's nice and clean and just elegant. And I'm like, I would build something like that, where it would be a chart that you can interface with your signals on them, like your hedge pressures and things that we make. And it'd have to have some way to identify that some of your rules have been broken. So we'd have to create like a condensed mobile version for your signals. I don't know if I want to create a mobile trading app that's fully featured out like Thinkorswim's, right? Thinkorswim's trading app is completely garbage. Now it's a great app. I'm knocking it pretty hard for what it is, but like for what they did, it's bloated. I just call it garbage, like a bloated piece of software where it's so many features you don't really need. And trading's cumbersome and it feels clunky. So it's just like not modern feeling. So we want to make something like that. And clearly the web platform, we can't shove everything you see here in a mobile app without it being bloated. You won't want all those features. You'd want the essentials to make your trades and to know your rules and have your reference material. So the challenge was in the mobile app. Oh, I'm going to try to design it real quick. This is how I'm thinking about it. Imagine your phone is like this. How would we make a mobile app? It's all the space that you have. Like, what would you want to see? Clearly, you'd want to see like a liquidity map or a chart, right? So you need like a sizable chart. Tell me if you guys like my idea here, because we might go that way one year, but we haven't really. We don't want to self-fund building an app. The return is there, but it's another investment that instead, what I'd rather do is build the web features first. If I have to simultaneously build both of them, let's say I have a couple extra $1 million to spend on 5 to 6 new people working concurrently with the current project, we're probably going to hold off on the mobile app unless we get funding for like a year or two. So ideally you'd have like your charts that you can manipulate. Then you'd have some kind of side features and menus. And I thought, that you don't mess up the experience. You'd have to have your buy or sell buttons on the chart, which you do. You can buy and sell. The different features that we have that you'll need to maintain through the mobile app would be like your scanner, like your rule assist. The problem is how will we display these rules? That was the part I was locked up at, rule assist and other things. So like you basically thumb on each tab. Like if I pick this, the entire window changes to the scanner. Like if I want to go to scanner, I'd click this and this swipes to the left. The scanner like pulls on top of it like here. I can add scanner settings and I can close it down. And it all stays in one place kind of thing. I can set down here. So if I hit like scanner, this little scanner window pops up. I can add like my scanner settings. I can close it. And then whatever they would be. And I would see, like I'm saying, it's like really hard to figure out how it would do. Put in your scanner settings. It gives you your tickers. You click one, it pops on the chart. Click one, pops on the chart. You have to thumb between all of them. But how do we get all of it in one mobile friendly environment? Like that would be a way to do it. Widgets, like the side widgets would be hard, but we've been chewing on like how we would do it to keep it modern and clean without being like super clunky. So question is, yeah, should an app be on phone for the alerts? So with the alerts, you'll be able to get them to your Discord already, which would be, you know, your trade journal services are automated like that. They cost a good amount. That's going to be cool to have the platform integrated. Oh yeah. Totally. I'm just rapping about designs. All right, guys, we're heading to Discord. We'll do ourselves a quickie break. We'll come back in about an hour, 15 minutes. For anybody in the Pro Plus package, we have daily Zoom calls to do additional coaching and have some fun there. Remember, this is a pretty simple day to see. Obviously, little scalps inside of here were possible, long up a hedge pressure. Resilience is still looking good. DD is still looking great. Bull zone support. So all stocks are kind of stabilizing, and I think this is pretty not so crazy. I don't think the market's going to collapse. Volatility's in decay, so I really don't see any pressure in the market pulling back too hard. So I like what I see today. It's great. Going forward, as you see, we're about to wrap up phase 1 development rocks here. Phase 2 is the bigger stuff, the stuff that we set out and dreamed about a long time ago. We have a fully working trading platform now. You can trade. We've got options data, stock data, futures data, like it. All the pieces are there. DOM, watch list, chart, scanner, alerts. Boy, it feels great to have built this. Now we're building phase 2. This is the AI machine learning portion of Rockseer. This is where we're really going to shape the game, not just for our tools and trading style, but for platforms in general. Things we're going to build in this platform nobody's thought of. And I'm glad you're here for the ride and journey as we build out these cool things. We're super excited about it. I mean, it's just great to be able to do this for a living, to create things and build things for y'all. You feed us ideas as much as you can. We'll put them in there. So be sure, make sure you're in the platform going forward. All new features are Pro Plus only. All those new cool features. So make sure you upgrade now. It's the cheapest price ever going to be. You can lock that in for life without a price raise. And Pro Plus members will also get to come to daily Zoom calls. Coaching. We're refilming all the videos for the boot camp to go over things in the new platform and other things, strategies and techniques we'll be covering in these sessions every single day. And those recordings will be posted in Discord for everybody as well. So we'll see y'all later. Adios. If you want to try out Rocket Scooter, $35 a month for the extended trial. With that link below, you can check it out. Save yourself a huge bundle while you just go through our program and learn what it is we do.